Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We're back this week to our weekly live stream, our wrestling review show, where we talk about this week's SmackDown, AEW, NXT, and that other show that is How You Don't Want to Eat Your Steak, Monday Night Raw, as well as our Royal Rumble preview. Okay. Royal Rumble preview for this Sunday. We'll give obviously our predictions there, but let's start with the show we all just stopped watching. It is Friday night SmackDown. I'm just going to say this because we know I'm going to troll the hell out of John for a second. It should be good. John, what do you think of the show? What the show tonight?
Yeah, honestly, outside of Bailey versus Bianca and anything involving our tribal chief and Kevin Owens, this show was a big pile of shit. It just that's in like more specifically what happened the last 45 minutes of the show was just an absolute cluster. And it was very Monday Night Raw esque, which I kept on trolling Matt, saying, "Matt, are you sure that this is a Monday Night Raw? Because it sure feels like it."
And I was trolling him like, look at the guide on the TV, because we're actually finally in person for the first time here. I'm like, it says Friday Night SmackDown, so it indeed cannot be Raw. But all trolling aside, as that main event went on, that was the biggest gripe for me for the whole thing. I know, we had Corbin and Mysterio. That's one thing. Okay, if that was the only thing, that's one thing.
And
even the six man wasn't as bad in my eyes. Because when they first,
it was lazy. It was lazy, is what it was.
It was. I have no funny retort.
Because I'm freaking right. That's why.
No, you're not right in your mind. I know, at least for the six men, at least had, in my eyes, to defend it somewhat, build up throughout the night. That,
AKA, we need to until time. That was their story.
Be lazy if it was just a single match, because regardless, at least they had that. But then when they became many men of Palooza with Miz and Morrison, and then Sheamus randomly inserting himself in the match,
which makes no sense.
That's when it did it for, well, when they restarted for 8-man, and I'm like, okay, now the 6-man I was okay with, because at least there were some stuff that built to it that was somewhat relevant, and then you threw Miz and Morrison in have to be there.
It just, well, I think if they would have had Sonya come out and say, hey, we're now are gonna add so and so into this, I'm like, okay, there's at least some authority here, but now we're just throwing people into matches. Like
if they kept, I'm gonna say, if they kept it at the 6-man tag, and that's it, I'm fine with it. Then you add 8-man and then random Sheamus, that just like, I can insert myself into the, you know what, in the next 4 years I'm going to randomly I'm going to insert myself into the presidential race,
right, exactly.
The night before. That was my, in all seriousness, that was my gripe. I can take the 6-man happening. I can't take anything else.
No, it's just
from that point, after that point, that was my okay. what the hell point.
Yeah, it's just like, and it was so weird because we typically don't see this
It was
from SmackDown.
it was the typical. Well, I don't think we had it last year. Last Royal Rumble, the typical craziness going into the Royal Rumble.
Mhm.
Because I mean, if I may make sure I'm remembering correctly here, let me look through the results of the other show, which ended with RKO from Randy Orton
Yeah.
to Bliss, but the whole show, Raw.
When you texted me, you're like, man, 30 minutes and I already am losing my freaking mind. Like,
I said it was like 30 minutes, and I
or something, or
I thought it was 30 minutes. I don't hate myself, but that quickly changed.
no, that was last week.
Was it?
Yeah, that was last week. This week, like, it's just like I had on the show, but I'm not paying attention at all to what's actually going on. Like, that's pretty much my viewing of Monday Night Raw now.
To me, SmackDown did a better job with a go-home show overall for a Rumble than Raw did, because Raw felt like a regular episode, just ran like building whatever. SmackDown promoted Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens amazingly.
Yeah,
they showed the package for Goldberg and McIntyre. They had your typical Rumble thing at the end, right? All crap aside,
and like Bianca's
and Bianca go in speech
promo too. So it's like,
so it built it. Even though you could say it was Raw-esque, it did a better job building to a damn pay-per-view than Raw did.
Yeah, like, I'm not saying that the complete and entire show was garbage.
I know you're not saying that, because I'm proving the point of Raw is garbage,
right? Because to me, Roman and KO would just sold this show. That's excellent.
You feel things.
Yeah, it's excellent storytelling. Like, they brought emotion. They brought like, and this has to be the best. This probably has to be their best long-term feud in quite some time.
Even though it's a third time fighting.
Yep.
It's a third time fighting, but it doesn't.
It still feels fresh.
It doesn't feel like, oh, Kevin Owens lost,
right?
But now it's kind of just him and Roman one-on-one. But you figure there's going to be some maybe interference by probably the Usos, one of the Usos, which I don't. This is speculation at this point. That is he quarantining?
Yeah,
because he hasn't been on.
No one has said that, but he hasn't been on the show for a few weeks. So I do wonder if he might have tested positive for COVID, because I think that it was Sean Ross Sapp who brought up, hey, they didn't show a Jay and at all in that promo package, so I have a feeling he's probably out for a little bit. So that kind of sucks, which I'm not which I think it might put a damper in them possibly bringing back Jimmy Uso, because I feel without Jay there that kind of
I mean, they can wait.
Yeah, they can wait.
I mean, losing Jay for whatever reason sucks, but it's not a big of a loss when with Roman and Paul doing being the taking over the missing gap, right, which is clearly evident is working.
Yeah, and like, just Owens is doing some of his best promos. Like, this whole feud has just brought something out that we haven't seen in him in God knows how long. He feels like a freaking main event guy now. Like with this feud, and this is something that I always bring up when anyone wants to tell me that anyone else is better than our tribal chief. Is just,
are they stupid?
It's just every person who he feuds with, they always come out on the better end, even when they lose. Like it's just it's Jay and Kevin Owens, man. Like it's, and especially like KO now like he just feels like a completely different person now. It's just you gotta just tip your cap, man. Just I say it every single week. Roman is the best thing in professional wrestling
consistently.
He's consistently the best.
Yes.
The best at like what he does. Like every promo, every match, just I cannot speak enough.
The story in his the storytelling in his matches when they put the ringside camera and mics on and he's talking and trash talking, especially through his matches with Jay,
right?
Just fantastic. And they're just slow, beat the crap out of your opponent, trash talk type of matches, which I love. They tell us like they're dramatic. They tell a story. He's not going crazy, flips and just craziness that
he's speaking so calm.
Get lost in translation.
He's speaking so calm and like he really plays off that freaking like mob boss so well. You know?
And I don't get, and I know it's social media comment sections, but reading through some, like if Wrestling Inc., let's say on Facebook or whatever, have an article I'm scrolling through and it's about Roman, I get the comments and on face value, I don't know how so many people don't like this. It boggles the mind that you go from complaining about storylines and specifically in this situation, WWE and or Roman before he came back,
right? And
they give you all this again, best story.
And hell, I was one of those people, man. Like I just did not care about his character at all. Like I was one of those freaking like, you know, minority who hated Roman, hated his character, and now I've done a complete 180 on him because I knew and so many others knew if you turn him, he will be a giant star. Hell, he even said it in a like recent interview that hell, I always wanted to be to like turn heel, but the company they just did not want that to happen, and that's why he had the Cena treatment. Just half of them were cheering him, half of them were booing him out of the freaking building.
And I didn't think it would be as good as it is.
No one expected this. No one. Like even me envisioning his heel turn, like just him as a performer, like it just he's like light years ahead of anyone right now on the main roster. And hell, like even Cena at his greatest was never this good of a like worker because if you recall Cena on top, what feuds do you recall where like every person that he feuded with came out better? Because especially if we go back to 2006 and 2007, outside of like Edge is really the only one who really survived his like reigns of terror back then. So it's
because in that what was that like what series on the network, Untold or whatever, I think he was the enigma there because he was such the foil to Cena that it worked. Good. Well, that's true.
And because to like Cena, Edge at that time he was kind of already a like name at that point, so like he was
Well, he was a name, but
bulletproof
but
to a certain extent.
true. But you could crush. But he wasn't bona fide main event yet.
No.
He was still coming up, and he advanced in a loss.
Oh,
'Cause
absolutely.
It depends what you do. I mean, after that,
Mhm.
and he succeeded.
Well, and he was clearly he was like the most hated man
yes, and
at that point.
that helps.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Cena. I mean, he's a good worker, a good promo especially when he's serious.
Right.
See exhibit Roman Reigns that promo.
And now, could you imagine a feud between him and Cena right now?
You know what? I know nobody wants it, but just on
I
that,
do.
I mean,
I sure
no,
do.
wants it for like, let's say it was Mania. That's hypothetical. It's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Mhm.
But let's say it was a match. You knew Roman's probably gonna win, and Roman versus part timer. But just for the sake of, if we can get heel Roman against a John Cena promo now,
Right.
and it's not Cena killing Roman on the mic,
Mhm.
I would have that match, him and Cena at Mania, even though how I shouldn't happen, right, in the grand scheme of things. I kind of want to see it just for that, and I would live with that just for those promos.
Oh yeah, I mean, just with the build alone, like that is a freaking main event there, and
Yeah,
something.
Cena was somewhat still full time.
Honestly,
I would want that.
I still think he could possibly be in something this year. I mean, like
There's rumors that he's in Mania this year.
Supposedly, I think, I'm not sure if it was Sean Ross Sapp or someone else said that he is going to be in
some form
in like Tampa. So so I don't think it's out of the question yet. And something else we need to consider as well, they have on 2 separate nights, they have to like fill in 25,000 seats there. So you would think, hey,
and two nights of show,
exactly, and they need something to kind of sell this year. You would think,
right? And let's say the part the not the part timers, but the legends or returning superstars, like a Mania is not a bad thing for Mania, because you get all eyes on Mania, but it has to be done right, maybe to put over the newer one, or not, Goldberg winning the champion, something like that, right?
Right.
If it's just a once in a lifetime, once a year thing to get eyes in it, and it's fine. If it was like, I'm throwing something out here, like, I know nobody would like it, but for the sake of argument, Goldberg versus Triple H, I don't know, something like, it doesn't matter.
No. Then
to me, business it's fine, even though nobody's like, I don't care, but it doesn't affect the current thing,
right?
That's when it's fine. Or if you face a current person and the current person, the up and coming, beats them, then it's fine.
And that is something that people are not seeming to understand, the difference between WWE having Goldberg and AEW and what they're doing currently with Sting right now. Like, and I say this every single week, if you guys cannot see the clear differences in how they are using those two people, then I don't know what to freaking tell you, because Goldberg is in a championship match again against a current main eventer. Like, it's just, and I swear, if he wins that title, like, I don't know what I'll think when I come on here on Sunday.
I can't live bleep you, John.
Yeah,
There's no.
it just, man, like that, just like it's a giant, it's a giant nightmare all over again, Matt. From when he killed the Fiend last March,
The only thing I'll say to that, he didn't. Now a year later, the Fiend is still okay. It's not like dead, but it killed the momentum he had.
Absolutely.
I think he regained some back. He's not fully like done.
Even beating Cena, just it was so hard to come back from that. Like, and it just kind of just shows you just how selfish of a guy that a guy and like Goldberg is when he doesn't even care to like say, hey, like why am I beating someone?
I think that's just strictly Vince.
Absolutely. But you cannot convince me that he can't say, hey, I am not going over here. Me going over does nothing for anyone,
and that might be true.
Does nothing.
Who's to say he never said it? But I think that the blame I think is Vince doing.
Oh yeah, he's absolutely number one. Goldberg deserves a lot of that too.
I'm not going to strictly blame Goldberg
because to give you an example, do you think Edge would ever do that, or Chris Jericho?
No.
Just like
I'm not saying he's not to blame,
but it's proven a point that like, hey, you can absolutely say, hey, no, I am not going over. Like it's that, like
you can,
right?
No, I'm not saying no.
Yeah,
I'm just saying Vince and then Goldberg. It's probably the payday. Who knows what happens?
Right.
Who knows if he wins? We're assuming there's a likelihood if he comes back and he loses to Drew and Drew gets the win, then all is well and it ends well.
Well, so
that puts over Drew in a way, puts over Drew, but we talked could buries other people who didn't.
Yeah.
But in a vacuum, it helps Drew, optically. Because I would rather have Drew and obviously Roman go in the Mania as your champions, and whoever we assume if they build somebody up for Roman, that's where Roman loses.
Yeah,
that's where you do it. Obviously, in Mania, it's a big thing. Same thing with Drew, even though he's lost before, but it's besides the point. I would rather have those two go in champions, whoever they face.
Right.
So Goldberg face one off somebody,
exactly,
whoever, if he beats them, okay, but it's I know that's contradicting my point I made earlier, but at least it's not for a championship.
Right, exactly.
I'll take that trade-off. I'll contradict myself for that trade-off.
For certain. And since we're on the topic now, let's just go through our Rumble picks here, Matt. Do you
we'll do you want to do the regular matches in the room?
Yeah.
So we'll go with I forgot this was booked, but there's Raw. The women's tag team championship, Asuka and Charlotte versus Jax and Baszler.
Yeah, I see zero reason why Charlotte and Asuka are going to be dropping the titles after, especially since they just won those titles.
The only
last month.
The only reason the only way I see it, and 150 brain IQ here is me picking Jax and Baszler, is that Lacey Evans or Flair cost them the title.
Yeah.
I'm because I could just see the Raw booking. I'll go with Jackson Baszler again, but I got that just for the fact that I can see them doing something like that.
Yeah.
So I'll go with that because that's a reasonable thing that might happen.
Oh, absolutely, and you really can't put it away for them. So, but I'm going to go with Charlotte and Asuka for now because too something else. Something else to think about too with the with the NXT Dusty Classic that is currently
true.
is going on. That's I think where they will probably drop those titles at. So I think that would be a better place for them
That's
to
true.
actually drop those titles. So.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I'm going on the I'm doing the on the record thing
Right.
for Nia Jax. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I can care either way. We'll save the best for last. So we'll go with WWE Championship Drew McIntyre versus Goldberg, and you're going to correct me because I think I said that name wrong.
Oldberg.
Okay.
Oldberg.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going with like Drew here. Although I'm gonna be nervous as shit for this thing. I just cannot see them. I cannot see them having Goldberg win here.
I can. What if you want?
Right.
Watching?
Yeah, I mean, like I'm trying
He beat
to
the
think.
Fiend.
Yeah, I'm trying to think logically here, but then again, it is wrong.
Why are you thinking logically?
Yeah, but I'm going with him, Drew here, but I'm gonna be nervous as shit. For this.
I'm gonna go with, and it's one of these things. I'm hope I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the tag team championship because I like the NXT thing because that's bigger names than. No offense, Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, even though but all four were in NXT, but the Charlotte Asuka thing, I'm gonna go with Goldberg just for this reason.
Mm-hmm.
They keep teasing it, and I'm picking it up about how he's never won the WWE championship. That's the one championship. They keep saying it, even in that promo. So that's what's giving me like, oh, I guess Goldberg are gonna do it.
Yeah,
which I'm gonna be pleasantly surprised if Drew gets to win and give them momentum. That would be the right thing to do, and I would be happy to be wrong and be happy to be terrible with my record, like it matters for these picks. Yeah. I'd be glad to be wrong, but I see it. I'm afraid, and it's going to be butt clenching watching this. Depending, like this 5-minute match, it's probably going to happen. It's probably going to be a spear, try to pin or whatever, and Drew's going to kick out. Maybe a spear, a half-assed jackhammer, and Drew kicks out, and everybody, if there was a crowd, would lose their freaking minds.
Yeah.
But anyways, so save the best for last. Speaking of last man standing match for these championship matches for the Universal Championship, Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens.
Yeah, this is going to be a hell of a freaking ass kicking.
It's gonna steal the show.
Like these guys are just gonna beat the tar out of each other right here. I'm definitely going with the Tribal Chief.
Yes.
I don't think he should lose that title anytime soon.
Until Mania,
but man, win or freaking lose here, KO has come out awesome in this thing, and I definitely want to see them. Give him a good spot on like WrestleMania this year. Give him someone interesting that's going to really reward him for being like one half of arguably WWE's best feud this year.
That's not hard to do.
Exactly. So
I get your point.
But yeah, so I'm expecting shenanigans. Absolutely. I just
nature of the match.
Yeah. And I'm just interested to see how they're going to end up hooking this. I do think Roman will just barely win by the skin of his teeth, and we'll probably either
as all good heels do.
We'll probably see either like maybe like Jimmy Uso. You never know. So
Dark Horse, if they follow up, Apollo
too.
Right. That's there.
Yeah.
There's many layers to that. But yeah, if I didn't say it, I'm going with Roman too.
Yeah.
Again, the next time he should lose and give the championship to somebody else they're building would be at the earliest the Mania.
Right.
Again, that's where you do it. Yeah, obviously, it's Mania or maybe a SummerSlam, but I don't know if you can go all the way through August with him as champion. Given after a while,
honestly, I wouldn't be against it
I wouldn't be against
because
it.
to
I'm just
me,
thinking they're
like to me, they don't have anyone currently that I would buy that could beat him right now.
no. Depending
So-
if they build
Right, like I mean, if you're going to if you're going to build someone
Biggie,
Biggie,
even Daniel Bryan,
right? If it's going to be Big E, they need to give him a freaking run this summer. Like he needs to be winning matches consistently, so that by SummerSlam we are saying, "Hey, let's go!" Like it's time, you know.
So okay, on that, we'll get we'll save the men for last. I think for the Rumble,
Mhm.
the women's Rumble.
Yeah. This
Who's your? Well, let's try two things here to see if we have who your pick
Mhm.
and maybe your second dark horse pick. Let's try
okay.
that.
So I'm going with like Bianca,
Mhm.
and my dark horse is like Rhea Ripley, but my head is telling me, LOL, Charlotte Flair wins.
You keep your on
And
that.
yeah,
Nope,
and
I think
and that scares me.
I think, or you know what, for it to make sense for Asuka and Charlotte
Alexa 2 is definitely
to
in there as well.
to help your tag team championship pick for is Lacey Evans eliminates Charlotte.
Yeah, that one makes sense. And honestly, I would be very happy
for the I
Right.
guess for your pick, I would do that if Asuka and Charlotte win against Jackson Baszler. I would have Lacey, do her screwy thing there,
Absolutely.
and the Rumble
Yeah.
would make sense. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Bianca as well. I mean, I how can you not?
Well, and the thing is, like,
I
who
know-
else are they going to choose? Like, I mean, are they really going to be doing Bailey and Sasha again at WrestleMania?
If they didn't
Like,
have,
if she's really the only other person that I could see probably winning, it's between her and a Bianca, and just a dark horse is probably Rhea. I mean, they really haven't built up anyone else, you know?
yeah, my dark horse would be Alexa, because she's had the most
Right.
stuff going on.
But even that, it's just like she's pretty much in the same spot as a Bray is. She should be.
She doesn't need it.
She doesn't
but I
need
could
it,
see
and
him
like she should,
possibly-
and she should
Possibly doing it.
Right.
What worries me is somehow if Bailey eliminates Bianca, and then
Yeah.
it's every little, well, no pun intended, every woman for themselves on who's winning, because there's not a lot announced
No.
that I would say could win, because so far here on Wrestling Inc., I don't know if on SmackDown was they added or something. We got Nia Jax, Charlotte, Bianca,
Oh yeah,
Bailey,
Natty,
and
and
Tamina is gonna
are
be
gonna
30.
fight
That
the
went
number
over.
30.
That's gone as over as well as a fart in church. Manny Rose, Dana Brooke, Peyton Royce, Shayna
Or-
Baszler, Alexa Bliss,
or-
Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott, Tamina.
Or
Apparently, Natalia didn't make this cut there. So
and,
and
or
Natalya.
as like Randy Fiedner would say, a fart in a skillet.
Okay. Any surprise returns, surprise entrance you think?
Yeah.
Besides you saying Rhea, because you mentioned.
Yeah.
it as a dark horse.
I'm definitely. I think like her EO. I think they will probably be in there.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna throw one. I'm saying Raquel Gonzalez
Yeah, I could definitely see her as
because
well.
they're high on
I wouldn't be surprised as well. If like Tony Storm showed up.
Ember Moon.
Ember Moon, absolutely. So honestly, I don't think that they're going to really dip in with the like legends too much this year,
because they got
Yeah.
plenty of NXT
Exactly.
talent down there.
Right.
I think because you figure Rhea was in the Royal Rumble already, right?
Right.
Bianca was, and they threw. I mean, there was others, but they had momentum. Rhea was in WrestleMania. title match.
Right.
Bianca's up here now and possibly could win it. Everybody thinks, and they're high on Raquel. I wouldn't be surprised if she comes in because you can just go off of her size alone.
Mhm.
And if let's say Rhea's already in it, you could have that face off again.
Right.
You can have her for how many people? Her looking at staring down Charlotte, and all
Shayna too. Yeah.
Shayna. I don't know other guest dark horse surprises. I doubt it, but based on her Twitter being black change,
I'm like Becky Lynch.
Becky
yeah.
Lynch,
which that would be an amazing thing because man, she just gave birth like what 6 weeks ago,
something like I don't know.
It was ridiculous.
That would be a big thing, like
Yeah.
like Cena returning after that injury in MSG
Mhm.
sooner than expected.
Yeah, absolutely.
If there was a crowd,
Well,
It-
and
they would
yeah,
go crazy.
Yeah, if Becky shows up, man, we haven't seen her versus Sasha. That's a really fresh match. If they really want to go down that route there,
for her winning,
Becky Lynch.
yeah, I think a lot of if that were to happen, there were I think be a lot of conflicting emotions
Mhm.
because we want Bianca.
Right.
Um,
However, Becky versus Sasha is really fresh, and I think that would be
that'd be a good.
that would be a really
if they,
good match.
if they switch her to SmackDown if she's on Raw.
right.
If they're doing this, I would think if she comes in, have a plan. If somebody eliminates her, that from Raw,
Mhm.
that continues a feud there.
Yeah.
I don't know who would
Yeah.
do that.
I'm not sure either. And to be honest, I don't think she is going to show up just because I
No,
do think that it is way too
I
soon.
think,
But
but
hell,
you never know. We
but
never knew Edge
you-
was going to be back.
right. You really never know.
It'd be nice if that would be nice if somehow like another random surprise that I doubt will happen, even though she's still under contract. Ronda, and if somehow you can reignite, that could be a WrestleMania thing because you have two
honestly,
nights.
I am only bringing back her for only one match, and that's
A time
against
match.
Becky. That's
Yeah,
against
Becky.
Becky.
And
That's
if Becky eliminates Ronda, there's your seeds for that one-on-one that we didn't get.
Yeah, but to be perfectly honest, I'm probably thinking more so about that match for like next year's Mania.
True,
more so
because I'm
than this
kind of
year's.
thinking you can have that's a marquee match.
Right.
Then you have the two other title matches
Mhm.
that can help. And that might overshadow
Mhm.
the title match depending on what they are.
Yeah.
But that gives you a star power match, and that fills out a card for 2 nights.
It
like-
does.
I mean, you already have the story there. You can't really screw this up, Raw.
You would think.
Um,
You would
I would-
think.
yeah, I would see that would help stack that card. We don't know what the card's going to be,
No.
but potentially Bianca, Sasha, whatever. It could be good, but I don't know.
I'm hoping by the end of this weekend that we will have a pretty good idea of what that card is going to be because man, this is one of the first Manias where I have no idea what the WrestleMania card
It's
is
good
going to
and
be
bad.
like. It's good and bad, but
We could tell about not being predictable,
but
and it's not. But
Yeah.
we'll see. There's
We'll see.
pieces.
so
And then the men.
on the men's side, this to me is a little bit more unpredictable, especially with Edge coming back, which by the way, Edge has been out since what, June? They did not advertise him coming back on Raw last week. Like,
They advertised them during the show.
they advertised him during the show. I'm like, what? What are you doing? Like, but But
I don't care if I don't care if it's just on social media the day of. Don't do during the show.
like literally during the show. But anyways,
because nobody's watching in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. But
except me and John in the background.
So with Edge being back, that to me makes this thing a little bit more interesting because hell, just like they thought, the thought of Edge versus the Tribal Chief, sign me up. I want to see that match. Hell, I want to see Edge versus McIntyre.
Yeah, either one, I'm happy.
Either one, I would be happy with. So right now, here's who I see as the main contenders right now. It's going to be Daniel Bryan, Edge,
Big E.
Big E, not really. I mean,
out of all of them in the list, I'm saying Big E.
Right.
I could say right now your final three.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of where I'm seeing it. And I'm not sure if they're gonna go back with the feud with like Orton. I was
because he's still with. See, that's tough because he's with Bray.
Right.
So you think.
It doesn't make sense to really do that right now.
I foresee Bray coming back, returning during this match.
Oh yeah,
and screwing Orton, and they're both taken out, and they both disappear, and that's okay.
And just judging on that promo alone by Edge, you really get the sense that he's going after a title. And if they're going to do that,
you can revisit Orton down the line.
And if that's the case, then I want to, and then I think the match is Edge versus McIntyre.
Yeah,
I think
they keep
that's what they
Raw.
do, and I think that's where I'm going right now. Edge to
win.
Yeah,
to win. And I do like his. He said like his point on a little side note of why. If he was returning at the Rumble, why didn't they just make it a surprise again? And his explanation was, I already had that moment last year. Why do it again? It's not the same because nobody's.
No. It's right.
Say he's in, and that's more intrigue. And and that makes sense. Why you can't repeat? You can't repeat that magic.
Right.
You only can surprise come back,
especially too in front of like no fans.
Yeah.
So it's like.
Yeah, it'd be not a dud, but it's not the same.
Right.
So, yeah, Edge being in the Rumble, and because we all thought Big E, but
it just as like
possible
as IC champion. It's just I think
he would need to have lost it before,
right? Exactly, and I just don't see that happening
unless he wins and loses it after to like my idea of Apollo.
It's possible, but it's just I just can't see it.
I can't see it. It's not as likely now. I mean, he's my third. I would say because Edge, Daniel Bryan, Big E. Yeah. And I'm going back and forth between Daniel Bryan and Edge, depending on what they do with Bryan in the Rumble, because his whole thing is he's never won it.
Yeah.
So where's he go from here?
Like to me, really, there's only two people who
Edge and Daniel Bryan.
They're the only two people who make any sense to win this thing. Like to me, with Big E, he hasn't had enough time.
Yeah,
and like it's just too soon.
I think
it's too soon for him.
I'll go with Edge because Edge winning, it's a good moment, and he can go after McIntyre, even though it's face and face, but still Daniel Bryan could probably still insert himself
right
with
because I still think that they're probably going to end up having that feud with him.
Could you see, because they teased what AJ Styles said in the promo tonight, Daniel Bryan have one foot out the door. Could you see possibly a Mania Bryan Reigns, like if he loses the career on the line thing?
I could definitely see that. Well, and Bryan has said too, hey, after his current contract is up, he isn't going to be a full-time wrestler anymore. So
and Reigns being I think he's the perfect character to do that.
Yeah,
For
absolutely.
him to put Brian out.
Not
'cause
to mention,
they've got history. There's history there.
exactly. There's already a built-in thing there, and that can drag on into like May and June there. So I think that's a really
I like
good idea there.
Like, yeah, I with retirement matches usually assume that they're predictable. They're going to lose, like Flair and Michaels. Like we knew Flair was going to lose, but the storytelling's okay.
Unlike Shawn Michaels and the Undertaker too. At
Pretty much
26,
all those
Yeah.
but they're still good stories that it's okay. Any drama you see on TV and like you can see what's going to happen. Even any movies, you kind of know, but if the story's good, nobody cares.
Right.
So I do like that. That's how I would have Daniel Bryan go out, him putting over Roman on the way out. So yeah, so with that, we are going with Edge, or Daniel Bryan. Any surprise, any return, any surprises?
I think we'll definitely see some as far as NXT could definitely we could see Damian Priest in there because he hasn't showed up on NXT
I think he comes up and then maybe that's his debut.
Yeah, I think so too.
You can see
Karrion Kross.
I
can
but
see that.
I think obviously he's not winning and
Finn
losing. Balor,
Finn Balor
with Cross. If he gets depending on who eliminates him, that's the thing. If a big guy has to eliminate him, but that doesn't hurt him because it's the Rumble. What the hell?
Yeah,
because only one person's going to win.
Right. Exactly.
The person who
I don't think. Yeah,
if,
I don't really think that.
If no offense, Otis, if Otis eliminates him, there's your problem.
Yeah.
But if Bobby Lashley eliminate, and he has a good train, it's fine.
Edge,
it's all
Edge or someone. Yeah,
Edge. I could, or somebody a big name, size that done right is fine. I can see. I'm just going to throw a Johnny Gargano.
Yep.
Pete Dunne. I'm throw Pete Dunne. Colorado. Somebody from Adam Cole. Somebody from UE.
Adam Cole. I think would probably
be a safe bet. I think he's been in before. Bet. Somebody from UE.
Yeah. Like they
have
honestly,
people from NXT,
right?
Obviously,
and
to the pool.
Honestly, I think with NXT alone, they can kind of afford not to really deal with any legends.
One or two, yeah. They could do it without one. They could finagle. I mean, one or two, sure.
Right.
Depending, but with combine Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, especially with the women. Mm-hmm. You got people, even men too. There's depth. There's 30 people you can come up with.
Mm-hmm.
Half of that's on the main roster. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. It's always fun with the Rumble, just to see how it plays out. See how it can. And there's a lot to live up to from. I thought was one of the better Rumble matches last year. The booking with Drew, like two halves of that match were good. I think it was laid out. Goes good storytelling Rumble.
Even though I still hate what they did with Keith Lee in that match. However, that really propelled him. That really propelled Drew, though.
I'm okay with I'm okay with what they did with Keith, even though who eliminated him?
I'm like Lesnar did.
Lesnar. See, I'm fine with it because it's Lesnar. But when he walked out, Lesnar put over with his facials and like, oh, you're a big guy. Keith Lee had a good showing, and I rather Lesnar. I can believe Lesnar more eliminating Keith Lee than anybody else in that match.
Right.
If it was anybody else, I would tend to agree with you a lot more. But Keith Lee did have a good showing, and then he had a good showing. But before that, at Survivor Series against Roman, so they had him looking good before, and
Then he went to Monday Night Raw.
and yeah, if only he was on SmackDown. Anywho,
But yeah, guys, that is going to be our preview of that show. Now we're going to move on to AEW Dynamite, and Matt, I gotta say, this week a complete 180.
yeah, I didn't hate myself for watching it.
Yeah, I mean, I was texting you throughout on like Wednesday night. I was like, it's a completely different show. Like even 30 minutes in, I'm like, this show already kicks last week's ass. Like it's just, man, like AEW, sometimes they have highs to highs and sometimes they have lowest of lows, and definitely last week was a low of a freaking low. But I get just everything was like built up really good for like beach break next week, and
Except one thing I don't care about: the wedding.
Yeah, there's that. But hell, like it looks like a pretty strong card for next week. So and we're starting to see kind of what the like Revolution card is going to be, and we also got officially announced as well. That show, I think that was supposed to happen on February 27th. But
it's in March.
It is now happening on Sunday, March 7th, which I'm happy as hell that they are not going up against UFC 2.
Probably why they moved it.
Well, no,
or put it on the Sunday.
Yeah,
not moved. You know,
right? I mean. Yeah, because because I mean, like, you do not want to go up against them, especially too where with a lot of those fans are your audience there. So it's like, why even try to take away some of those buys there? So I'm really happy that they had that done there. But anyways, this show, Matt, do you have the results?
I do.
Okay.
They opened up the show with Eddie Kingston versus Lance Archer with oh my god, I just watched it. Eddie Kingston winning.
Yeah.
Via pin.
Yeah. This was a like fun match for sure. And they like booked it good to where Archer he like looks good here, even in a like loss here. At least he had something done to where he's not just it's not just getting beat. I'm looking straight up there.
Kingston had to use the brass knucks, brass knucks, get out the win. I was thinking this watching this match, like the only thing that took this down for me, and it's not like it's overall, is just the overall booking of Lance Archer.
Yeah,
leading up to, like, even though he's doing more now, there's like something's missing from him.
Yeah, well, they're I don't think that they exactly know what they're doing with him right now.
Once he lost, was against
Cody. Yeah, Cody.
Like, he did nothing for a while, and like
I'm like a Moxley. Then
he
lost against Moxley.
I'm trying to. They're not giving me their help. They're trying.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing something.
Well, they are definitely doing better now.
Yes,
with him, because like, now I'm like because now he doesn't need to be in like title feuds, like, to me.
Yeah.
So
now.
Unless he's going to actually win, like, I wouldn't have him in any title feuds. Like, he's already lost both of them there.
You know,
so
yeah, but that was my like overall gripe.
And
but
man,
I like the match.
But that freaking back bump on that side apron, I don't know how Eddie did not freaking die there. I was like,
I don't know how he didn't like fracture a hip.
I was like, oh, Jesus, that looked brutal, but a very good match. And I would imagine that we're probably going to be getting some sort of a like steel cage match or a hell in like assault.
Gimmick infringement.
Yeah, but the whole thing is like, hey, like Eddie's family, he keeps on getting involved. You gotta think probably a steel cage match at some point for these two here.
And afterwards we had the promo by Moxley talking about teaming up with Pac and Phoenix against Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers.
Yep.
And also, hey, he likes he's a simple man. He likes morning sex.
Yes.
That was all anybody talked about.
Which it was
nobody talked about the promo. Everybody talked about that line on social media.
And like I forgot what, like, you know, Renee said, but it was hilarious. She commented right after that. But yeah.
Then I like this intro to this next scene. Random building. Sting and Darby Allin like on his abandoned building talking about their match with Team Taz. I enjoy this promo.
Fit their characters perfectly.
Talk about hoodlums and kind of just kept saying it and kept destroying stuff. I thought well done with Sting, even if he kind of missed the one window break. But you know, that's
hell. I mean, like far I'm liking where things are going with him. Although I do wish that we still would have gotten an explanation as to why Sting isn't being involved with Darby.
It's very vague.
It's been extremely vague. So I wish that they would just say, "Hey, Sting, why are you being involved with Darby? Just explain." Like
nothing really has been explained.
Right, and that's
is that the mystique of it?
I'm guessing, but that's the only criticism that I've had about this thing. So
and the other thing, and we did mention it, that a lot of people have mentioned about Team Taz being like running away from that's another big.
I have brought that up a lot. So
but the promo I enjoyed. It was well done. Then we had Chris Jericho, MGF versus Varsity Blondes with Chris Jericho and MGF getting the pin after Jericho hit a lion salt, which everybody's going crazy because it looked good.
Yeah. And like perfect, and like you could tell too, he was so over the top with that thing, and he just stared right at the camera, right at everyone, basically telling them shut the fuck up about the line salt.
Yeah, good.
But man, Matt, what do you think about Griff Garrison and Pillman?
There's potential there.
Yeah.
There's stuff there.
Right.
They
look good here. I
if they were used more, I'm not saying they're jobbers. That's not. But you know what? They're lower level,
lower card guys.
Yeah, there is something. There's something there.
They need to get themselves a character, which they're extremely bland right now.
Yes, that's
the
like, other thing.
They need to establish who they are. Like they're who are the Varsity Blondes?
It's almost like, okay, you're Brian Pillman Jr. Okay, and what else?
Yeah, it's basically they are a they're basically copying what Brian Pillman and like Steve Austin were in like WCW as the Hollywood Blondes there. So they need to kind of cultivate more of what these two actually are. But man, like
that will come.
But man, hopefully. Like they looked really good here, and I'm very excited to see these guys and like future matches. Like this was really good.
I have a little criticism, and it has nothing to do with the match. It was beforehand, and it just I've been trying to notice this, and I really caught it this time. Of when Jericho's coming out and everybody's singing this theme.
Mhm.
If you paid attention, it was clearly obvious that they edited it to last longer.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because the music's playing, everybody's singing, and at one point I caught it. They have Justin Roberts. You can see him speaking into the microphone, but he wasn't speaking.
Mhm.
I'm like, why you have to make it longer, and why couldn't you had time to
Yeah.
edit? Is why it's obvious.
Yeah.
That's my criticism, and it's not even the match, but like we get it. He's
Yeah.
how many times he's looking with that smile.
Yeah.
I don't anyway. But anyways, moving on. MGF, and after the match, MGF and Sammy are yelling back and forth at each other a little bit.
Mhm.
Pac cuts a promo on Omega
a
and
very
the Good Brothers.
a very
Beach break next week.
old school look there. Don't you think? They're that was like straight out of like a 90s TV right there. You know, with the like VHS
it
look
did
there.
look like
you know,
poor quality.
Yeah.
Shaq showed Shaq challenging Cody to a match in March. I guess I can't wait. Can't wait
God
to
help us.
we have 2 months of build for that. But there was a promo in the ring, Cody answering that Arn, cutting a promo, saying cutting a promo. And then he brings out Red Velvet, who cut a decent promo.
She looked good here.
Yeah.
And I'm like physically, obviously, and like I can tell you one thing: she's a way better talker than Jade is.
I don't want to mute my TV.
It's just like it was short and to the point, and she looked confident. Like that was really good. You can kind of see why they are putting her in the spot here. So I'm like, okay, she has something. So I'm happy that she is getting this. However, I am not looking forward to a tag match between Shaq and Jade versus Cody and Red Velvet.
I'm just glad it's a tag match, and not one-on-one,
right? And
because that would have been,
oh god, that would have been, and it's not just that it's Shaq. It's also to Jade. Like we have never seen her work, so
she appeared. I don't. That there was a random. She appeared. I'm with Shaq. Not
just
good.
we haven't even seen her
wrestle
or
she hasn't been on Dark, right?
Not like the only times that she has been on there is for segments. She hasn't
wrestled.
She hasn't actually physically worked, so it's I don't have high hopes for that. So we'll just have.
It's going to be one of those things you want to really see because you're so curious.
Yeah, but at the same time, I get why the company is doing this. Although your expectations should be extremely low.
They need for this. Yeah, they need to surprisingly blow me away, or not. Be like, oh, that wasn't as bad.
No.
So we had Hangman Page versus Dolph Ziggler. I mean, Ryan Nemeth, Dolph's brother, real life brother.
Mm-hmm.
Hangman Page gets the win here for pinfall. Was this another case of this going a little bit too long?
Actually, honestly, I thought that it was fine here. It wasn't as bad as it was last week with Moxley, where he was selling way too much last week. This one, it didn't feel as bad here.
I could see that. They could probably have cut it maybe 5 minutes short, and it would have been perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hangman Page gets the win there, and Matt Hardy was there on ringside, trying to cheer on Hangman Page. I guess trying to get to
recruit him. Recruit him.
The last person who's not in the group is trying to be in the group. because
Yeah.
everybody has to be in the group.
Well, and to honestly, how do you feel about like Matt in this role right now? I
I
kind of like it. Honestly,
I like it
Yeah.
because the broken Matt wasn't really
It like ran its
wor-
course.
Yeah,
It ran its course.
I think him in being a manager, I think is a good role.
He's kind of is feeling that like
Manager,
that MVP role.
Yes.
I would say
he
like
could wrestle, but he doesn't have to.
right, and to me, him and they finally turned a Private Party heel, which I'm so happy because now they aren't being like stupid baby faces who are completely just oblivious at like Mac there. So yeah, I'm interested to see where this goes. I do not think Hangman is joining anyone. He's going to be.
He should be by himself.
He should be
just based on the character.
a lone wolf.
Yeah.
He has been portraying as a lone wolf from the very beginning because if you guys recall, pretty much he, like, even though he was technically in the
He was half-assing it.
elite, he wasn't really in there. Like, I do think you don't need to have everyone part of the A-League faction, although it's not the end of the freaking world because hell, like if you guys saw WCW and like more specifically New Japan, they've been doing that shit for years, so it's not the end.
It's not, but it's kind of like a meme at this point.
Right. So
nobody's by themselves.
Yeah, and like Hangman, he tweeted afterwards, "Why is everyone trying to like recruit me right now?" So so they really are playing that up. So I'm interested to see how they're going to build on top of this because it's pretty clear.
Plot twist: he joins Team Taz.
Yeah, that would be so random, but
yes, but has go wrestling.
Right.
We got Jungle Boy versus Dax Harwood with Tully and Cash
tied to a dinosaur.
handcuffed to Luchasaurus, but your point is well taken.
But man, this match was great. Awesome match.
Yes.
Definitely I would say like Jungle Boy's best match that I've seen. This was just a clinic here, Matt. This got time. I think I want to say that they got almost 20 minutes out of this thing in. It was just fun, professional wrestling here. And like you could definitely tell Jungle Boy is going to be a really big name for them. First of all, his like theme music is going to be great when they're finally in front of a like live crowd.
No,
there.
That's another thing. I hate it. I'm already annoyed with it. It's the most annoying song ever.
This man hates fun.
Did you listen to it?
Yes, it's great.
No, everybody was still humming it. Like after I was like, "Shut up!" It was annoying. It's like what was that? The stories I tell you about my neighbors at dorm just singing the same song every day. That's what it's going to be for me. And I already hate it.
Wiener wiener.
Yes. It's like sounds like a corny repeated noise, and I know I'm gonna hate it, so I'm gonna pre-hate
Matt
it now.
hates fun. I'm just convinced he just.
I don't hate fun.
Matt hates fun. If anyone is having fun, he'll be sure enough to freaking ruin it because hell.
What?
Because
I
hell,
hate fun.
No one else can have
I
fun.
hate fun. There's not. Why you? There's no mirror here, so you're definitely
Why?
not looking.
Or just like
I hate fun.
Why? Like
the
why?
PodCon, the cattle
Why?
black here. I don't like fun. I don't like stupid stuff.
No, you don't like fun, but
I don't like fun. You shoot down a ton of stuff that I do, and he's like, "That's stupid. You don't like fun."
Anyways, how did you like this match?
I enjoyed the match. I hated that they had to cut the horns off a mask.
Yeah, I'm hoping that
Die.
there was a point to that, like is Luchasaurus going to be taking off his mask or something? Because
He's not ugly.
because if they aren't, then that just doesn't seem to really be a point. Then if they weren't going to do that, so we'll see where that goes. But man, just an excellent match, definitely match of the night for like both shows there. So yep. Talking to someone there, buddy.
Is this his theme? Is this the new one?
I think so. To be perfectly honest, though, I've like listened to it one or two times though. That's what you don't like?
Because it's like it's the first night. It's getting to Return of the Mac status. Oh. That part. Because it's getting annoying because everybody's singing it. Sounds. I don't like it. Sounds
You
cheesy.
are ridiculous sometimes, you know?
No,
You really are.
it sucks. I'm gonna be the first one. Song sucks.
So does your attitude, mister.
No,
And-
my attitude's good. Baltimore, screw off. We're gonna get a copyright strike because I play that. I just know that.
I am going to be downloading this and I'm going to be playing it whatever I can to piss off Matt just for that alone. So
I want you to hear this before I get a copyright strike and I have to take this video down. Everybody singing that. So help me God.
God, you're unreal.
I know.
Rocky and like Rocky.
He hates it too.
He
He
agrees with me.
No, he
It's
doesn't.
a great song.
It's a terrible song.
All right. What's next, Matt?
Britt Baker versus Shana na 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 na.
Shauna?
Yes.
God damn it.
Shana na 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 na.
It's Shauna.
Shana na 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 na. You hate fun. Stop. See, you hate fun.
You have no room to talk. Just shut the fuck up right now.
What? I have room to talk. Oh, how
No.
how many times have we? If you shot down stuff, I've done, and you're like, it's stupid. You hate
Not-
fun.
no.
Phil would agree.
Uh,
Nobody knows who Phil is, but
nah.
yeah, unplug. Yeah.
But anyways,
How we still have two people watching this fight amongst us?
I don't know, man. But
Yeah.
let's okay. So
Britt Baker versus Shana.
yeah, I'm solid match.
Yes.
Like no complaints. But obviously, the more important thing that happened was after when like Britt was beating down on Shauna. Eventually, Thunder Rosa came down, makes the save, and setting and building up to their match for next week, which I'm really looking forward to. Pretty much anything involving Thunder Rosa, it's going to be good. So I do have like high hopes for that for next week.
Yes. Don't disappoint me, AEW Women Division, but it's Thunder Rosa, so there's
It's Thunder Rosa. There's a pretty good chance.
There's a good shot. So next week announced we got the wedding.
Yeah, Kip and Penelope getting married, man. Get excited.
I found something worse than the theme song.
What, like Riho coming back next week?
Oh, damn it, right.
No. She's eventually coming back.
She's in that tournament.
Yeah. And I'll be perfectly honest with you guys. I'm not excited for her to come back.
Okay, then we have we just talked about Thunder Rosa, Britt, tag team battle royal winners face the AEW tag team champions at Revolution, and the Young Bucks are in it because if they win, they pick their opponents.
Which makes sense. Which kind of makes me feel that they're going to win now.
Yeah.
And challenge Gallows and Anderson there. That just but just because they really haven't built up anyone else, and just based on everything that's going on, that would make sense.
And then Kenny Omega first in the Good Brothers versus John Moxley, Pac, and Ray Phoenix.
Yep, I cannot wait for that.
And I guess the Women's World Championship Eliminator Tournament. I don't know why they have to say eliminator. Just say a tournament. Of course, it's eliminator. When you lose, you're out. That's another thing that weirdly pisses me off. Just say tournament. Why eliminator? Just tournament. It's a
does it
tournament.
matter?
Yes, it's unnecessary syllables that I have to say. It's just a tournament.
Gee, damn them.
Why? What makes it so special? You have to say eliminator. It's a tournament.
Just how they're branding it.
It's a tournament. Nobody else fans. It's just say a tournament. You're not copywriting anybody.
Okay, so let me ask you this: why are they calling over on NXT the freaking the like Dusty Classic? Why don't they just call it a tag team tournament?
Because it's special. It's a brand name.
Okay,
No,
so
it's not the same thing.
it's just that's how they're promoting
Eliminator tournament. It's a what's the thing?
It's literally the same thing. It's just
No,
how they're promoting.
Fucking
it.
not.
God.
It's a what's the thing when you're saying two things at once? Redundant. It's stupid to say women's champ. Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. It's a brand. It's Dusty Rhodes.
You could just call it a tag team tournament too.
You could, but they don't. Eliminate
Because that's how they're promoting it.
No, it's stupid. You hate my fun.
No, I'm just questioning your freaking logic here.
No, it's not.
Everybody.
Eliminate. It's stupid. They should get rid of it. I'm getting pissed at that for no reason.
You're getting pissed at yourself for contradicting yourself.
I'm not contradicting stuff. Just get rid of the fucking eliminator. Just say tournament. You're making it special for no fucking reason. It's a tournament. Anyhow, we get the main event. Young Bucks and the Good Brothers versus the Dark Order.
Yeah, and before this, we had a small little confrontation with like Don Callis. Obviously, we're building up tension, and
We still have two people.
and by the way, I'll say it every single week. Don Callis is freaking awesome. Like that man, just alone, is just making me want to see the Bucks kick his ass. So like that to their man, I salute you. Like he's done a great job. But the actual match itself, I'll be honest, I did not give a single shit about this match.
It got too hectic.
I just didn't care. Obviously Matt and like Nick win, and this is when they announce that like, hey, for the tag team battle royal next week, they will be entering, and if they win, they will be able to choose who they will face. And I am expecting that they are going to be going over there, and they are going to be choosing Gallows and Anderson for that show. So with that being said, Matt, let's go through the card next week, and we can just make our predictions for that there.
For next week? Oh, I thought we already did that.
No, or for Dynamite for next week, Beach Break.
We talked about.
Okay, yeah.
Well, we didn't get. Well, okay, predictions.
Yeah.
Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker.
Yeah, Thunder Rosa, I think, is probably going over here. Although I don't say that confidently, because I do think that they probably want to also have Britt build up as well there. But I'll go slightly with Thunder Rosa.
Yeah, I'll go with Thunder Rosa too. Okay, we talked about Young Bucks winning the Battle Royal.
Yeah.
I would. Okay, Kenny Omega, Good Brothers versus Moxley, Pac, and Phoenix.
Yeah, I'm going with like Kenny and the Good Brothers. They're gonna pin either Pac or the Phoenix here. Yeah.
Because you're not gonna pin Moxley.
No.
Yeah.
Moxley isn't getting pinned unless it's something really, really important. Because actually, the only time he has been pinned since he's been signed has been by Kenny there. So
Yeah. So yeah, that's. Oh, and then I guess is next week. Serena Deeb versus Riho.
oh god,
If so help me God,
Uh,
Riho wins.
Riho's winning. Riho's gonna win that. Her like first match back, and you think that they're gonna have Serena win? Ah,
Yes, please.
not happening. So and like that I'm right about that. I'm right there, buddy.
I don't want Riho to beat the NWA Women's Championship in the first round.
Or as Jim Cornette calls her, Riho.
I'm sorry, I was counting to 10 so I can calm down in my head. So that's it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So NXT, right? Yeah.
NXT, Mr. Matt.
This was, if you like tag team wrestling, this was the show for you. We open up with the quarterfinal match in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Tournament Eliminator. MSK versus, I'm sorry, I had to do it, versus Killian Dane and Drake Maverick. I was impressed with MSK in their debut match, but I was really curious to see him against somebody of a bigger size like Killian Dane, how they would work.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate they didn't do all the flippy crap for no reason. Stuff messed up. They worked well with Dane and Maverick, and they get the win. Even Dane and Maverick work good together, and I'm more impressed with MSK. And this is coming from somebody who did not see them before they debuted.
Yeah. And I think aren't they getting aren't they getting the winner of the Undisputed Era and
Tomas
and Ciampa and Thatcher? I want to say yes.
Maybe, yeah, no. Look that up. I want to say they might. No, I think they're on the different side of the bracket. I thought.
I'll find out. And
oh my god!
Oh no! Yeah, you're right. So they,
it's somebody big.
Oh no, they would Lucha House Party and
MSK, but who's facing
like Legado del Fantasma, like they would face the winners.
But who's facing? Is because it's going to be regardless, it's going to be Ciampa and Thatcher versus Adam Cole,
and the winner of that they would face
oh my god, I don't even.
They would face the winner of Gargano and Theory.
That's it. Okay, I know somebody somewhat
and the grizzled young veterans there.
Yeah. Which that's going to be, if it's grizzled young veterans versus any, that's going to be fun to watch.
And I completely forgot. I was like, shit, that's right. Cole and Strong versus Ciampa. I don't know who you have win there.
I think you're gonna have. I think it's Ciampa and Thatcher.
I think you have to
with Lorcan and what's her face costing. Somebody's costing UE.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, they have to do that because if like if you're putting those two guys as a tag team, I'm like, those guys have to be in the final there.
Yeah, they're not going to lose their first match.
No, and
does you do they need it? No.
Well, especially too, they've won this tournament before, so it's like, who cares,
Yeah, and if they get caught at cost, yeah, it's fine. So MSK wins, and they face. You said who they face potentially. It's Legado del Fantasma or Lucha House Party. Which that match too will be a good, just a lucha type of match, and then whoever wins that, I'm going to assume it's Legado del Fantasma
Yeah,
against MSK.
MSK is gonna
Is gonna win.
Yeah, they
But
are
still,
gonna be
but the
in the final. Yeah,
but I'm sorry, the match itself,
yeah.
it's just going to be crazy. One would think. Then we see Lorcan and Birch being dropped off by somebody said Daddy Dunn, their father Pete Dunn.
Yeah,
Get to the venue.
and I'll say this, man, like these guys really need Pat McAfee. Like they really need him because to me, these guys are extremely stale without him right now. And I don't know why they don't want to at least have Pat there just to freaking just to freaking talk. Like hell, like he was entertaining. And so I don't understand why they just wouldn't have him there for that. I mean, like, you know, who cares? Who cares about him wrestling? You know?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not as down on them as you are right now. But you know, and obviously
they're just extremely boring for me right now.
Well, fair. I don't remember that. I don't know what that is. We'll move on. Women's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic first round match tournament eliminator. I'm gonna call that from now on just because of that, because it's funny. Jesse Camilla and Aaliyah versus Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. I keep mispronouncing her first name. As obviously Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez win.
Yeah,
a little match here. No surprise there. Gonzalez giving that choke slam to Jesse. That's pretty much her size with that force.
Right.
That what I took away. I remember from that match because that was just looked so good. I love that move so much. They will face Caden Carter and Casey Catanzaro in the second round next week. Quick thoughts on some of these tournament matches being held on 205 Live.
Yeah, I can't even recall last time I even watched 205 Live.
No.
Like it's just like even with this tournament, it's like you're not going to convince me to watch it.
I might, you know what? If I remember, like that would be a thing to watch it just for those matches because it's pertinent to NXT. I see why they're doing it. Because essentially, okay, my reasoning, that's probably not it, that maybe it is, well, this episode's going to contradict what the hell I'm just saying, but tag team overload?
Well, I wouldn't say that just because
it doesn't make sense because this show is
it's that's what it's based on, but I'm going to guess though that
give 205 Live some shine.
Yeah. But I gotta think though that probably with the final right now, Matt, I think we're probably are going to be getting Shotzi and Ember versus Dakota and like Raquel. I feel like that with Shotzi and Ember, they're gonna have them get their revenge there on Candice and Indy.
Yeah.
And really on that side there, I just can't see them having Raquel and Dakota losing.
Right.
They to me feel like the overall favorite right now.
Right. They did have, I think, because I didn't watch it, because they had the two new signed women.
Yeah, and like they lost.
Did they lost? I thought they won
again. I guess like Candice and
okay, that's right. I
swore
I missed.
Like Gigi, who is better known. God, she was married to
Darby.
Like Darby.
God, I know. I
yeah,
know.
but
No, I know.
yeah,
we know.
Priscilla.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's some of the anyway. Yeah,
Yeah.
But I mean, it's okay. It's 205 live, and it wasn't built up that
yeah,
she lose. It's fine.
yeah.
Look who you're competing against.
Exactly, exactly. So,
so
yeah,
you're gonna have Candace and Indy win at least that match.
yeah.
Like
you're not
that'd be
gonna
stupid.
have them lose there. Yeah. That'd be dumb.
Backstage, see, I like we talk about stuff like if I can read, it would answer it, but I'm not reading this whole paragraph like as we're talking because I'm not being distracted. So Mackenzie's backstage with The Way. They congratulate Candace and Indy for winning. We just talked about it.
Right.
They say they're confident they're going to win in their next match. Then Mackenzie Mitchell asked about Kushida getting a title shot, North American title shot. And Johnny flips out because he mentions that we don't mention Gargano and all that stuff. And then while Dexter Lumis appears, ripping the current up.
Oh, hey, I'm sorry to freaking
interrupt, please.
To interrupt you, but this one tweet here by like Roman, he was burying Everrise.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Roman, don't make me hate you.
Yeah, like you like might hate him now.
Wait a minute. Depending on what he said.
Yeah,
Where is he?
Yeah.
Do I not follow him on Twitter?
It's like it was posted about like 15 minutes ago.
Well, that's probably why I'm not saying it.
Yeah, like
let me just search it. This is
yeah, like he like quote tweeted.
How do I not spell Roman?
RO.
I put
M-A-N.
R. I don't know what I typed.
Apparently so.
We'll buy these shirts now. Once a routine, so I'm going to have them banned. Oh, Matt Martell said you next with sick news.
Just I'm gonna have them banned just because fuck you guys.
Somebody goes another meme. We're gonna save that.
Send it.
Send it.
I'm saving it to my folder.
Save.
But but anyways. Continue.
And then after that interview, while Dexter Lumis appears,
he's just aimlessly just staring
as per tradition. So yeah, that's that. Then we go to the little video package of Scarlett talking and saying TikTok and doing a card reading. And everybody's gonna fall and pray, same stuff, and her looking good as she does it, and all creepy. And I just sent you that picture. We don't have Tyler Rust with Malcolm Bivens versus this person. I didn't know his name, but enhancement talent. Yeah. I'll say this right now, and I want to wait till they, I'll give them a chance, but I don't see the thing in Tyler Rust.
I don't either. Honestly, he comes off.
It's the big thing for me is the facials, and stuff. But I'll give him this, and it really impressed me. The finishing sequence with I don't know the name of the move. Did they write it here?
Neither do I. So it's fine.
He drives it. He grabs his head and kind of like drives him into the mat, his head in the mat, and then does the Rings of Saturn submission to call. That ending sequence, I'll give it to you. I enjoy that. I just need I'm not saying he's not a bad worker. There's for something for me. I am not invested, and luckily he has Malcolm Bivens. Other like new people, I can like see potential. Like, okay, I'm interested. Him, not so much right now. I'll give you with anything. I'll give you a shot, but it's
there's still really in the infancy stages with him.
But
we'll give him time.
I agree. It's just out of all the people,
Not really feeling it right
I'm
now.
not really feeling it.
Yeah.
Let me see this interview. Finn Balor and Kyle O'Reilly, they face to face, and very cautiously agreeing with each other with their feud. I just like how they were few words, kind of just staring at each other.
Right.
The intensity there was palpable. Then we get another quarterfinals match in the men: Leon Ruff and Kushida versus the Grizzled Young Veterans.
Good match here. And like Right Team won. Obviously, too, we're gonna be getting Kushida versus Johnny.
And they came, yeah.
And I do like with their interview, John. If anyone says like curse, Johnny is having a freaking panic attack. So like they really are gonna be playing that up. And honestly, I think Kushida probably beats Johnny for that title. Yeah. I think Kushida losing really hurts them. At that point where
Johnny could lose.
Right. Johnny is he's pretty much bulletproof at this point for NXT. So I think
you built, especially at a takeover.
Right.
If this match was like on a thing, I could see like a screwy finish and maybe continue. But if it's takeover, I think he wins.
Right.
Obviously, and it's okay. Perfect. Ruff can take the pin here.
Right.
Kushida gets attacked by Gargano and Theory, build that thing, and then Dexter Lumis was up here on ringside too. I'm curious where they're going with Dexter Lumis and Johnny,
which is why I think that they're going to be putting the title onto Kushida, and they're going to be leading into a feud between Johnny and Dexter Lumis.
Yeah. Another interesting thing that happened here was that Kurt Stallion, who's going to be facing Santos Escobar for the Cruiserweight Championship, gets attacked backstage,
and William Regal was
pissed, and he's like flipping out, and he leaves in the locker room, but there was a card, one of Scarlett's, those fortune cards in his stuff, and they're like fake being scared.
Oh, that's what that was from.
I thought so, because he was like TikTok time. I think that's it.
Which is kind of weird, because why would Karrion go after Escobar?
It's just to take down the other champion. Did he cut a promo?
Not really. Like it
cut down the other champion.
If that's the case, I'm like, well, that doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. But
I think that's what happened. They're not matching in here, but
and like that. Maybe.
Wait a minute. Did I miss? Wait a minute. Maybe I missed that. Hang on, because they were talking about Stallion. Because I saw that, I went, I want to see the match, but it is kind of weird.
That is super random if they do that, because especially too, both of them are like heels, so it's like, okay, how are you gonna work that, and why would Karrion have a problem with Escobar? Especially too, he has made no bones about it. He's going after Finn Balor.
I know why. Okay, I forgot about this. Thank God. So yeah, Escobar finds it's the tarot card on his gym bag. They left it off. So they're saying, because I think Escobar, because he cut a promo last week. I remember this now, and he cutting promos on all like champions and other beat. And he took a shot at Karrion Kross.
Oh, okay.
Last week, so I guess that's a follow up from that.
Okay.
So
that at least explains that. Then.
Yeah. Okay. Because he don't piss off Karrion Kross. So it's probably 1 week done.
Yeah. Yeah. Just to kind of get him. Oh yeah, because they could probably face each other at Takeover then. Yeah, because that would give them. It would give like Kross something to actually do.
until
know,
it's the time to face
because
the champion.
because I think it's pretty clear we're going to begin Pete Dunne versus versus Finn.
Yeah.
I think that's probably where we're going right now.
Right. So that's a short-term feud
Right,
thing. Tony Storm comes to the ring, talking about wanting her accolades, winning the NXT UK Women's title from Rhea, winning the Mae Young Classic by defeating Io Shirai, and wanting to be the first ever woman Dudley Rhodes Tag Team Classic winner, but Shirai took that from her. So Shirai comes out, they stare down, but they fight, and then Mercedes Martinez attacks her from behind, Io that is. So it looks like, and it's official now, right? Yeah, that we're having a triple threat match between the three at TakeOver, which I cannot wait for.
Yeah, I do think though that I don't think with like Mercedes that she really needs to be here. Kind of that feels like that she was just thrown into this here to me.
But I still think there was history, there was build up.
Yeah,
she attacked her, so there is reason.
she did attack her, but man, it was extremely last minute because really there wasn't any tension between these two until like about what 2 weeks ago. So it's like but yeah, the match should be good, but it makes me think that they might be taking the title off of Io too, because that would be a way for them to not have Io get pinned.
I would have her somehow still win, and I think it's okay, and then have Raquel be the one.
Which she needs to be the one to beat her,
because I think she retains through come hell or high water.
Yeah.
Then we see Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Bronson Reed. I think they fought again.
Yeah, and man,
I can't remember.
Yeah, it was a few weeks ago. And man, Bronson, that freaking frog splash of his is just
how does nobody die?
I don't know, but it looks devastating every single time. And he still has the best Titantron in the game right now, man. Like that thing, that thing is great. And watch, as soon as he goes on like Raw, Vince is gonna take that away from him. So, but yeah, he wins. I do wonder where they're going with him next, because he does feel like that he's kind of in like no man's land right now.
I think they're waiting for opening for, because
tops. He's just like everything is so clogged up right now. So
that's so much talent. Then we have video with Ciampa and Thatcher talking about their match in the fight pit and how they kind of have mutual respect with each other. That's in summary. I thought that was well done. I don't want to be the ones that face those two. But then the main event was Finn Balor and Kyle O'Reilly versus Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. Finn and Kyle O'Reilly get the win with a submission, and with Burch tapping out. And after the match, I think Pete Dunne come out and they tag Balor, fight, and UE comes out. And then
did it feel like that they were teasing Finn joining them?
Yeah, it was teased. Like there's agreement, like, okay, and I'm going to step back.
Yeah, I honestly I don't think that would be the like worst idea there, because then I think that could branch off into something with Adam Cole and Finn there at some point. Like
Possibly, yeah.
I don't think that is the worst idea there. So.
I almost had a flashback. Was it when he came back? Was against in the ring with Ciampa and Gargano, and he did that kick against Gargano.
Yeah.
The face off, like when he was standing in front of, was it, I guess, Kyle O'Reilly was the closest. I figured it wouldn't make a lick of sense,
Mhm.
but perfect spot to do a Pele kick.
Mhm.
But he wouldn't join
Yeah,
them. So I was like,
yeah.
it doesn't make any sense. But it was like, it was set up like is something going to happen. But he stepped back.
Yeah.
But the reason he stepped back, he looked at Cole. They kind of had an agreement, and then he stepped away.
Mhm.
He's not with them. But yeah, so it's interesting because I mean, does Ewing need to replace? Do you get a fourth member? No, but it'd
They
be
can-
something. It'd be a good alliance.
Like honestly, I don't think it's worse than because with like Bobby with Bobby Fish, he is older
And he gets hurt,
and
he's getting hurt a lot.
He's getting hurt a lot. So I wouldn't be against that happening at this point.
Yeah, I don't know, like full on join, but
Because
obvious
yeah,
together.
yeah, because I think Bobby is in his 40s now. Actually,
He looks good for his age.
Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, that was NXT, guys.
Yep.
And I think that's pretty much is gonna do it for
This hour and 45-minute show.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. But anyways, guys, as we said, we are going to be having a podcast right after the like a Rumble ends. We will be giving our initial thoughts. Hopefully it's a good show and I don't completely hate myself, but
At least it's not Raw.
At least it's not Raw. But yeah, guys, make sure that you also stay tuned. Episode 76 of our podcast is dropping tomorrow at like 3 p.m. Going to be talking WandaVision,
Episode 3.
Episode 3, WWE and like Peacock Steel. We decided to basically have that talked about on there just because.
Imagine if we were talking about right now.
Yeah, it's just like just on top of everything else here, it just would have been like too much.
That's more broad and reach too with streaming.
Yeah,
we get into that too.
Yeah. So we talk about that, and we talked about something else. Oh yeah.
Oh,
like Hall of Fame,
Baseball Hall of Fame, yeah,
and Baseball Hall of Fame. So yeah, that is going to be on the channel tomorrow at 3 p.m. So as always, like, comment, subscribe, and we shall see you guys on Sunday. For Matt, for John, have a good night, everyone.